What is going on, guys? So Valentine's Day 2019 is coming up. Do you know why that's my favorite day of the year? Do you know why that's my favorite day of every year? Because I get to say the word no more than I've ever said it before. I don't do Valentine's Day and never have. Well, actually, no, that's a complete lie. I totally have in the past, but that was when I was blue-pilled, but not anymore. I'm done with it. And I even tell people that I'm done with it so that there's no expectations. And reality is that Valentine's Day is such a mess because of the expectations associated with it. And this is no exception. This article: as a young adult woman, I should never have to pay on Valentine's Day, or on any day for that matter. Any of you guys ever read that article by Miranda Devine called Female Entitlement Mentality? If you haven't, go and check it out. I even did a video on it. My boyfriend is in charge of planning our Valentine's Day date. I told him I wanted to go out to a nice restaurant in West Hartford that charges $25 an entree, and that I was getting the steak, and he would be paying for it. We both work hard, but I don't think I should have to pay. Valentine's Day is his chance to tell me how much he loves me and appreciates me, and that, like everything else that's valuable, comes with a price. If Tiffany's jewelry was $20 a pop, everyone would have it, and it wouldn't be special. I am special, and I want him to know it. I'm not saying he should buy my love, but it definitely isn't free, so he totally has to buy my love. He makes more than me. For every dollar he makes, I make about 70 cents. And when I first heard this, I was like, oh, here we go. She's going to complain about the wage gap. But what she's actually about to do is prove why the wage gap exists. In fact, not a wage gap, an earnings gap, a pay gap, i.e. the amount of pay you receive at the end of the week, which is commensurate to the amount of work you do and the amount of time you spend working. Granted, I work part-time and he works full-time. Gee, let me guess, you work maybe 30% less than him, roughly? I mean, I've just done some quick maths here, which is something you probably can't do because you did a useless degree instead of a STEM degree. But hey, that's none of my business. Although, I do have a friend who makes less than her male co-worker. They have the same job and same level of experience, except she's been there for a year or two longer than him. Yeah, so that's probably because she makes less money for the company than him, or maybe is more of a headache. That's the reason why there's actually gaps in remuneration, not because vagina. Here we go. And now she says, but I work hard for my money and he isn't entitled to it. But you're entitled to his? How the fuck does that work? I know I'm not entitled to his money, but. And guys, you know, anything you say before the word but is basically out the window. Like, see the window here? See the window? Just chuck the words before but out the window, because they don't actually matter. Because whatever you just said after the word but is what really matters. I know I'm not entitled to his money, but I was raised to be taken care of, and that a man's role in my life is to take care of me, and that is why I'm majoring in MRS and not some STEM field where I could easily find a job and support myself. So what you're saying is that you're actively trying to get a job that won't guarantee you a good job so that somebody else can pay for you. This is the mentality. I don't think I'm putting too many demands or too much pressure on my boyfriend, because as a man, he's already expected to do these things. Oh, you know those gender roles, those expectations of gender roles? What is it that you feminists call it? Toxic masculinity? Yeah, that's the real problem. He is expected to provide financial support, and I am expected to provide emotional support and make his house a home. These things have been done by my parents, my grandparents, their parents, and so on. If this isn't right, then how come these roles haven't changed? Wouldn't you call that normal? Wouldn't society implode if this wasn't the way we live our lives? I don't believe we're capable of filling roles other than the ones that have been defined by our parents and generations before us. That uneasy pressure we feel to conform to in the crannies of our stomachs isn't real. Why would we feel uncomfortable about something we are supposed to do? Something that's outlined all expectations of men and women since the beginning of civilization. But I bet you're still a feminist. Now, while I go and get the next article, which shows exactly how much women have to look forward to on Valentine's Day this year, someone asked if there was a way they could contact me to share Red Pill MGTOW related news content. sydneymgtow@gmail.com is my email address. I apologize if I do take a little longer than usual to get back to you. All right. Now this is where it gets fun, guys. This is where it gets fun. And make sure you share this with your friends, especially the ones that can't stand Valentine's Day, because this is hilarious. How much men really plan on spending this Valentine's Day? That's a great question. How much do men plan on spending on Valentine's Day? We're about to find out. It's been dubbed one of the most romantic days of the year, but depending on what stage your romantic relationship is at, Valentine's Day could end up being a real doozy, especially if you're married. And thank you for that generous donation of $1, Ace Ventura. I appreciate you. According to a new study by lendingtree.com, while most men polled on average said they plan to spend $95 on the holiday, that price point dropped to $57 for married couples. Now, I want you to think about all those simps that spend $1,000, right, on their Valentine. They've just made up for 10 men and then some. So you got 9 men that aren't spending money. Can you see where this is all going, guys? MGTOW is exactly where everything is heading. And you know, look, it sucks for the ladies that actually treat a man well, right? Because they've been written off too. In many cases, and they really have to actually stand out and prove themselves for anyone to consider them. But you know, it's like, well, the good guys are getting shat on because a couple of dudes that, you know, like, what, a couple of dudes rough up their girlfriend because the girlfriend slapped them in the face, and all of a sudden all men are bad. Well, you know, fuck you guys. Like, that's how you want to play it. You know, and I do know, including one of the people I know is watching right now, some really freaking awesome chicks, right? Chicks that are anti-feminist, that, you know, are working on bettering themselves, that genuinely care, that like looking after their men, but they're very few and far between. And the reason that they watch these videos is because they know I speak the truth, right? They know that this is the reality, that if they're not like that, and there's no such thing as well, like, look, every woman has their flaws, just like every man has their flaws. You know, there's no such thing as not all men are like that either. You know, they just don't exist. Like, we have attributes because we're men, and we have attributes because we're women. So, anyway, let me continue on this. However, that average gained a big boost when polling engaged couples. They plan to spend an average of $92 with a slight decrease for couples who are dating. And of course, that doesn't include the couples who split up a few days before Valentine's Day because they don't want to spend money because the expectations are far too high, as we saw in that previous article. The biggest overall spending gap was seen between the genders. Here it is. Oh, here's the juicy bit, guys. All 141 of you, all 144 of you in the live stream right now are gonna get these facts and figures live. Get this. The biggest overall spending gap was seen between the genders. Now, guys, I want you to leave a quick comment in the live chat telling me which of the two genders, yes, the two genders, because there are only two, you think spend more and which ones you think spend less. Because I don't even need to read one more word of this article to know which way that one's gonna go. Men said they expect to spend an average of $95, while women said they plan to dish out less than half that amount averaging $41. Now, I was looking before and it said that couples are planning to spend an average of $92. So engaged couples are 92, couples are 88, and married couples, that's $57. So the average that married couples are spending are still more than what women are spending on men. And thank you for that donation, Ace Ventura. I appreciate you, man. Now, and Riff Magos says, good to catch a live stream, Sydney. I hope all is well. It is very well, Riff. And Lending Tree also found that overspending, and I quote, overspending for Valentine's Day to be much riskier than underspending. Only 4% of all respondents polled. Only 4%. Both men and women said they would be disappointed if their partners spent less than they expected, while 1 in 4 said they would be irritated if their partner spends too much. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Generation Z plans to spend the most this year, 113, while millennials are averaging 49. A third of baby boomers polled said they would be upset if their partners spent a lot of money on them. Yes. Overall, 41% said they're looking forward to the holiday, while 5% admitted they are dreading it, but most don't care one way or the other. How much people plan to spend on Valentine's Day on average? Everyone, $69. You know what I'm talking about. Women, $41. Men, $95, more than double that of women. Married people, $57. Engaged people, $92. Dating people, $88. People with at least $5,000 in credit card debt, $62. People with student loans, $78. So all these blue pill students are going around throwing cash all over the place that they just don't have. Suckers. People with mortgages, $59. People with car loans, $57. People with personal loans, $88. So people with the worst kinds of debt are spending the most. Why does that not surprise me? People with no debt, $82. Well, because they can afford to, although I still don't recommend it. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think about this video in the comments below. If you haven't yet subscribed to my videos and you're liking this content, hit the subscribe button below and the bell next to it. I provided both of those links to those articles in the low bar below. Guys, share this video, comment, thumbs up, do what you got to do to get this video trending. I appreciate you all. Thank you to those of you who donated. Hello to all of you 190 in the stream, and I appreciate